Aaron, good morning to you. So give us the key elements of where Vytjie Mentor's evidence simply could not be credible.
Well, there are quite a few to go through, Xoli. Some critical points from Vytjie Mentor's testimony yesterday. For example, her discussion around that 2010 state trip to China. She disclosed that on her journey to Beijing, she travelled on a flight on which Duduzane Zuma, Fana Hlongwane, she initially said and later retracted, and then a Gupta brother were also present. That on independent Emirates records is true, but she said that she'd flown back via Hong Kong, and that's proven to not be the case based on independent Emirates records. Also, her details of when she flew, she says, from Cape Town to Johannesburg and was then taken to the Sahara Computers offices in Midrand before on her claims going to the Saxonwold estate. Records from Parliament and South African Airways show that she did not travel on a Monday in October of 2010, but she insists she did, and that just simply doesn't line up with the facts. And then experts went with her to the Saxonwold property. She defined 5 distinct features of the Gupta's home in Saxonwold, and experts, including a structural engineer and an architect, could not find a shred of evidence of those features. Now, bear in mind, this is 9 years or so after she says she was there, but nonetheless no trace, even historically, of some of those features. So bit by bit, some critical elements of her testimony are falling away.
Aaron, as I speak to you, the evidence leader who was leading her is just behind you. And it brings me to my next question. The evidence leader who questioned her yesterday is the one that's working for the commission, and they are very gentle with her. Talk to me about how day 2 is going to look like when she's now questioned by lawyers of those whom she implicated.
Yes, Advocate Mahlape Selo, Senior Counsel, a member of the inquiry's legal team. At points, however, I would say that the chairperson, Deputy Chief Justice Raymond Zondo, really pressing Vytjie Mentor and saying that aspects of her testimony and her insistence, for example, on that Monday travel in October 2010 was very important to the work of the Commission. And this is someone who needs to very prudently weigh up how much value he puts into what she said under oath. He really pressed her on that. He really indicated how important it was to get things right here and clarify what she knew firsthand, for example, and what was hearsay when Vytjie Mentor argued that even though there were no records to prove that Atul Gupta was in China when she claimed that she met him on that 2010 state trip, Vytjie Mentor said, well, we know, and this seemingly from anecdotal third-hand information, that the Guptas could come in and out of the country without going through customs. And Zondo really put on the brakes there and said, well, hold on a minute. What do you know firsthand from your own experience? But quite right, today things move along and Vytjie Mentor will undergo that critical cross-examination. And this is really a watershed moment for the inquiry because at this point, none of the witnesses have undergone cross-examination, and this will be at the hands of counsel for 2 of the people she implicated, Lakela Kawunda, who was with the presidency, and then Advocate Mandla Mtolo, who was with the Hawks. Duduzane Zuma has not, says Selo, asked to cross-examine Vytjie Mentor, and Fana Hlongwane has retracted his wish to cross-examine her after Vytjie Mentor issued a public apology and retracted her mention of him on that flight in 2010.
All right, Aaron Bates giving us just the key elements of what came out yesterday and what we can look forward to as the State Capture Commission of Inquiry resumes at around 10 o'clock this morning.